So this is the Firbon paper cutter, size A4. I used it to make some promotional material for a short film, and I used 260 GSM photo paper for it. It has this extendable like side ruler that is like meant to help get right angles. I found this to be not super helpful. Just as an example, this side hasn't been cut or anything. If I level off the paper so that is a right angle, you can see it following the line there. So that would be a straight line. But if I try to use the arm and I extend it all the way where it's supposed to go, first of all, it's quite wobbly. On the underside, you can see that there is just a little divot here where it's supposed to lock into place, but there is still quite a bit of movement allowed. So if I try to level it at a right angle here from cutting, see we're following the line up top. And if I extended that forward, then that would be a complete right angle. But if I push the, first of all, because it's so wobbly, it doesn't really stay exactly. But if I try to butt it up against the ruler and I push just ever so slightly more than I'm supposed to, it goes off of a right angle. And you can see that up here. So you have to, like at this point, like because you have to hold the ruler in place, you might as well not use it anyway and just rely on the grids that are already on the cut mat. So that's my first gripe with this thing. Second is I use this to cut about 100 postcards. Each postcard I printed on one sheet of paper. I printed 2 on one sheet of paper. And so each one would need roughly like 6 cuts per paper. So 6 cuts per paper. I used 50 papers plus whatever I needed for test prints. And so it's a roughly like 360 cuts that I wound up doing. After that point of doing 360 cuts, even before then, probably maybe 40 cuts in, I noticed that it was not super sharp, the cuts. And obviously you can cut from both sides. I'm using these trim lines on my print to get it as accurate as possible, because otherwise there's like there's a big margin of error for cutting with this thing, probably around close to an 1/8 to a 1/4 of a centimeter, which is significant if you're trying to do this. So I push down, cut across evenly, and here we got a pretty smooth cut. But it's not always like that, unfortunately. For example, then I was pressing down sort of with medium pressure. If I try to press down as hard as I can, which like you'll want to, it gets a bit more jagged, which isn't a problem. Like if you don't care how the edges look, it's fine. But since this is for promo material, like I really cared. I found that there was a workaround by maybe like varying pressure, doing it maybe like a little lighter, but like just barely. But yeah, I think it's good for the price. I got this for a little over $8 on Amazon Prime Day. I just think if you need to do like, it's fun for crafts, but if you need it for like a more professional cut, you might as well just get something better.
So I don't know if you can see why it's doing that. I couldn't really figure out what piece broke, but something broke and I was not applying a lot of force or anything like that. I was just using it normally. I heard a little snap, and then next thing I know, this piece doesn't quite work right anymore. You can still cut with it, but it's just not as effective. And honestly, this product is just cheaply made. I would just recommend spending a few extra dollars and getting something a little bit better. Hi guys, just leaving a review here for a Firbon A4 paper cutter. This is really easy to carry around, lightweight, lifts up here, blade right here. You just got to make sure that when you do cut paper, you press down on it. And I like to do one down, one up, you know. It also has this like little leverage that comes out to be able to place the paper in there, and it lines up very well. I would suggest just one paper at a time, but you can try and put more. I just don't think it'll cut as good, but here you go. And that was just one down. Again, you should apply pressure when you cut, but it works great and I love it.
Who spell Wednesday? Whenever I say Wednesday, I say Wednesday. Wednesday should be spelled W-E-N-S-D-A-Y. Wednesday.
And that cuts perfectly and really easily. These 6 pieces of paper.
This is very small, lightweight, and easy to use. You just lift up on this, position your paper on the line wherever you would like it to be cut, I'm just going to put it in a random area. And then this blade, you just drag it through, and it gives you a clean cut every time.
See, there's nothing that's missing. The swing out wide, like it's in the picture.